I'm not much of a partier myself. That was it, folks. Oh, yes, we have these. Someone presented us with these to show that we don't stint on production here.
That's the air in those balloons are from famous people. That's Khrushchev blew that one up.
Oh, come on now, McCormick. Anyway, Happy New Year in the parts of the country where it is Happy New Year, and if it isn't the New Year yet, wait for it, which is in the Midwest. Gee, you made a curious statement somewhere in your book, and it stuck in my mind, and you said that age 35 was the greatest age for ladies. And
yes, I think physically that's true. I think from then on you sort of go downhill. I think ideally if one could grow mentally to however old you can live and stay physically, 35, and I think if men could stay physically 45 but keep on growing mentally, it'd be a heavenly world.
You like men when they're 45?
I think men should be 10 years older in looks, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're looking at me like I don't even shave.
I'm not.
Well, I do, every so often. That book, it gives you bad dreams to read about the things that happen to you out there. And vicious is about the nicest word you could use for a lot of the people that you ran into in that industry. And I guess we saw what it did to Judy Garland, and you were made of something somewhat different, apparently.
Oh, but I was so lucky,
you
know, because I was born a Yankee, and we were brought up with an enormous amount of stability, which I often thank God for in the town I spent my life in.
You are a Yankee, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But does one have to be like you, as tough as the redwoods in order to make it?
Well, I was never tough. You just learn to cope. Mm-hmm. I was never a tough person. But in business, I learned to cope and make my stand. And if you don't, there is no hope.
Yeah.
But that's not only true of Hollywood. That's true of any business where a person gets somewhere.
Mm-hmm. But that's a tougher one. It seems like you're just pulled in so many
well,
directions.
it is a dog-eat-dog industry. It always has been, which you know as well as I do.
Yes.
You're
I had one for dinner before coming. But I'm going to keep knifing my way to the top.
Cough up some more fur for us.
Oh, Pat. Is it any... What's
I
missing?
don't want your champagne. I want a glass of water.
Oh, would you like a glass of water?
Oh, I'd love it if it's
I'll
convenient.
have to run out and get one,
no, I don't want you
but
to.
I'm certainly
You
willing.
have hundreds of people. He's going to get it.
Bette Davis, right on the side of the
You
pitcher.
have water right there? Aren't you marvelous?
Remind him it's New Year's again.
Thank you.
How's that? Would you autograph the glass? Well, that's going to be kind of silly. Do you suppose it's any better now out there in California for a young lady going out there today the way you
No,
did?
I think I was in the luckier day. Because
You do? That
oh,
surprises
yes,
me.
Oh, yes, because of the big studio that was behind you. They really were behind you. And you know, you had a contract, and if one film didn't work out quite as well in the beginning, they would let you do another till you learned your business. Mm-hmm. And now every film has got to be the greatest. It's absolutely, and it wasn't true then. Oh, I would be desperate today starting in this business.
But supposedly those big titans who were so cruel to people are missing, like the one who, when he died, the famous remark was made at his funeral when there was a big crowd, give the public what they want and they'll come. Do you remember, are those people are missing now, aren't they? And wouldn't that make it?
Well, I don't find they are. I find they're all basically kind of the same people.
They are?
You know, they say how much it's changed. Now, it's changed in volume. It's changed in kind of films. It's changed in many ways. But the way they're making them is exactly the same. Mm-hmm. There is no difference.
So would you recommend to a daughter of yours to go out and be a movie star today? Would you try to?
I was very grateful my oldest daughter didn't want to be.
You were grateful.
But I certainly think everybody must make up their own minds. If she'd wanted it, you know, I would have sent her with my blessings. I'm glad she didn't want to.
Yeah.
Must say.
Do you ever run into your own image or find it kind of a drag to have to carry it around? Do people come up and do Bette Davis impressions to your face and that sort of
No,
thing?
they just come and say they look like me.
Oh, they do.
And that all their lives they've been told they look like me. Now, I'm not a very vain woman, but I've had some pretty rough shocks, I'll tell you that.
That's funny.
You know, really rough shocks. I immediately run to a mirror and say, well, it's pretty bad, but honestly, I don't look like that woman. I run into that quite
Yes.
often. But no, I've never had anybody sort of come up and do me. No.
Humphrey Bogart, for example. Not that he's one who said you look like me, but
No, we didn't look alike.
I gather you kind of like Bogey. I call him Bogey because I never
Well, you know,
met him.
he and I were in the first film together. Bad Sister Bogey was in. He was the city slicker.
Yes, he was in that film. Your
Promptly a
first-
year later, we were both kicked out, of course, of Universal, along with Clark Gable, and I can't tell you who else was kicked out of Universal at that point.
It's
And
very.
fortunately, somebody else took us on, and the careers went on.
What was he like then? Did you have any inkling that he would be Bogart someday?
In the beginning, no.
No?
No.
Was he shy?
No, he was never shy. No, he
Yeah.
was never shy at all. He was actually a very bright, sometimes evil, always fascinating guy, and a great fighter like I was. He and Cagney and I think, each had about 18 suspensions from Warner Brothers to fight for the parts we wanted. We were the three rebels, you know.
Yeah.
He became a much more interesting man as he grew older. He was a perfect example of that.
I wonder what he'd think of how he's idolized today more than he ever was when he was alive, with the pop posters and the Bogart cults do you suppose he'd scoff at that, or was he vain in any sense?
I think he, like anybody, would be secretly pleased and make fun of it.
What did you mean when you said he had an evil streak in him?
Oh, he's marvelously malicious, brilliant, almost. This is socially. Because he was very astute about people, and he could not stand anything that was phony, and he would just come right out with it, you know.
That's a
Don
great
Rickles'
quality.
dad.
Great quality.
No,
to
but
have,
not
right?
in the way Don Rickles did it. No, this was dead on the level, right in your eye. You know, this
He
was
didn't
not
bother
with
to be-
humor. That's
Didn't
all.
bother to be funny about it. He just
No,
said
he didn't
it.
bother to be funny about it. He
Yeah.
just like that was just it. That's right.
I just had this thought, but they say that acting feminizes men. I think even one of the last people you would think of as effeminate, certainly Spencer Tracy, said this is really a woman's profession at some point.
Well, you know, there's an old French saying that an actress is more than a woman, and an actor is less than a man. It's an interesting saying.
It is. It is.
Now, there are some men that this does not apply to at all. In some cases, I think this is very true. I would say you're going to make it.
Really?